Good Monday, makers. My name is Dave. Welcome back to another episode of Maker Pipe Monday. This is our weekly series where we look at wildly creative EMT conduit builds that have been posted to the community throughout the week. Let's go. The first one we've got is by Randy. Randy has been a great member of the community, and he's making this personal weather station on the side of his house. He's got the weather station. It's sitting right up there, but he needed a way to mount it so it's removable. He can put it up, take it down, and he's doing that with EMT conduit and our connectors. You can see one long piece of EMT conduit there, and then he's got two sections with our connectors and then flanges to attach to the house. And that's a hack you're definitely going to want to check out. We did a video about this a few weeks back about how you can use a threaded pipe flange and then couple that with EMT conduit to provide a mounting point like this. So go check that out if you're interested in hearing more about that. And the way that he ended up doing it was attaching from the flange here to the vertical pole. He's got two 45s. So two of our 45 connectors there and there. Use an end cap to cover it off. And then on the top, I think he also used maybe a 45 and a T. Where's the top there? We got to zoom in on that. Yeah, two T's. Or maybe just one T. Yeah, one T to hold on to that pipe. And he says it works out well. He's able to get up there, even though it's high, and mount this thing. And it looks like a great project. Randy, thanks so much for posting that. It does look like a good height up there. Definitely be careful. We love seeing it. Always like seeing Maker Pipe go onto your house. Here is another one by Randy, and he put in some work here on mini connectors for the new adjustable angle. So we just released the adjustable angle connector that you can position in any angle and then lock it down or use it as a hinge. And he said, hey, you guys don't have a mini connector, which is our prototyping plastic, 3D printed plastic parts. So he created it. And thanks, Randy, for doing this. Looks great. Here is an example of what he created. It's two pieces that go right on to coffee stirrers like the rest of the minis. And then it has a range of motion, just like the adjustable angle, but you can also lock it in place, he said, with some CA glue, some super glue. Just a dab there locks it in place. So he went and did a bunch of work on getting the file right. And check out his post in the community. He's got the link to the files on Thingiverse, and you can download and print them yourselves. We've got to print these real soon and see about including them in the kits as well. Here's one by Renato. This is his second build, and he had a canopy blow over in the wind, and he wanted to recreate it out of EMT conduit and Maker Pipe connectors. So there's the kit, and he's got a link to a bunch of photos and a lot of documentation on the site. Thank you, Renato, for doing that. He also prototyped it out of minis. Here's his design, which I think the top section really robust, a lot of reinforcement, and he's got two parallel pipes there, which makes it really rigid on the top. 45s. Thought a lot about bracing because his first off-the-shelf canopy pop-up had broken. So there's another design. He's got some water barrels. But I'm sad to say that he ran into some trouble. He put in all this great work, and thanks, Renato, for putting these photos in. He's building it. I know how much hard work this is, and he's using metal roofing attached with self-tapping screws to go into the conduit to hold it on. So there's his building process. I think he spray painted the conduit, if I'm not mistaken. You can see kind of the finish there. And he gets the metal roofing on. He gets ready to pull it over. You can see that he's got a rope around it here, and he's going to pull it this way. Well, unfortunately, I'd hate to see this, but it bent. It bent that leg right here on the 3/4 inch EMT conduit. It looked like it was too much force as he brought it over, and it bent. And I hate that, Renato, that it's got put so much work into that. But we learned some things. I appreciate you sharing that as well. And just to look out for that kind of load that's going to cause it to bend. And I think this is a perfect application of our 1-inch connectors. We're putting out connectors for 1-inch EMT very soon. So I'm going to send Renato some samples that we got going on those 1-inch T connectors and see if he can't recreate his build using some 1-inch vertical upright. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully we'll be able to get Renato back going and get his canopy done. Here's one by Javier. Javier is in Ecuador. Really cool to see Maker Pipe down in Ecuador. And Javier has done, this is his second build that I'm aware of, but he made this camp table. Really simple camp table. He was going out camping and needed a place to cook and store all his food. And check out where he was camping in the jungle of Ecuador, I think he was saying. But the design's so simple and it packs away. So he's got a simple frame here using T connectors. And then he just put another set of T connectors that would be able to be loosened and swivel up into the table itself. So he's just rolling around with this in the back of his SUV. These legs just fold up right there. It packs flat. And then he includes, he's got some OSB and he's got a nice camp table. So really cool, Javier. Thanks so much for sharing that. I think that's a neat design. And I could see people getting a lot of use out of that. He also came up with a neat cutting hack in the process, which I really liked. As he was building his workstation, he wanted a way to secure the conduit while using the pipe cutter to cut it. And he used the crossover clamps to hold the conduit in place. So as you turn the pipe cutter, which is a great way to cut conduit, but it does require a firm grip. And instead of holding that there, he used the crossover clamps to attach it to the structure. And he's got a great way to hold the conduit so it doesn't turn, making it even easier to build with it. I like it. Thanks for the tip, Javier. Here's a more of a question from Christopher in the community. He wanted to build some target stands. He was thinking about a few ways to do it. He had seen this design, which is a pretty common design and looks a lot like our friends at Target Forge, who we talk to from time to time. They have a great line of reactive targets, used EMT conduit, and that's why we've crossed paths, but that has a similar sort of design. So check them out. But he wants to build something, and he was wondering, how can I go about that? So hats off to Axel, who's a great member of the community. He came up with a design out of minis for Christopher to check out. This is really simple. It's got just 4 T connectors right here, making those stands. And there's a lot of ways you can do stands like this. And another option, you could, instead of using T's, you could use 45. So it kind of pitches the legs out to the side more. Instead of the T. So a lot of options there, but I love to see the collaboration and ideas in the community. Appreciate it, Axel. And thanks for Christopher for posting that. And Axel's got his own build that he's working on. He's really into this skiff that he's working on. This is version 2 of his seat that he wanted to create on here. And it's a really simple design. He's got this frame here that he's mounted this Lazy Susan seat swivel onto, just bolted it right through the conduit, and then a few T connectors and 90 degrees. It looks like he used 4 90s, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 T's on this assembly to make this nice little frame and fit his seat onto his skiff. And you can check out his channel. He's got all kinds of videos about what he's doing there, and there it is mounted on the seat. Thanks, Axel. Appreciate you showing that on the community. And here's Peter. He's been a longtime member. Peter, thanks so much for posting one of your builds. When we built a kayak rack a few weeks ago on the channel, he made the suggestion you really want to have the kayaks on an angle. You know, if you have them flat across the bars, it could damage the hull of the kayak. So that's what he did here. He's got them supported a little bit of an angle, but these are cantilevered over that back post, which is a tough design to pull off. And it looks like Peter did that well. He's got some vertical pipes that he's got attached to the fence and some supports down low. But then he's got a nice 45-degree bend or something similar, and then used 45-degree connectors to brace underneath. And you can see that, how he supported that, which just alone, just having that T connector, definitely not enough. It needed some reinforcement there, and he did that with that 45 to make a triangle. Looks good. Great design. You can see a little bit more about his sketching and how he planned out. And then there's the finished product. It looks great. Nice build, Peter. Thanks so much for posting that. We always appreciate you in the community and love seeing your build. So if you like seeing these, if you want to see more builds, we'd love to have you. Please consider subscribing. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a great week.